Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Gillis McAllister. I am one of the 13 delegates to the annual conference, the lay delegates. We represent Bethany United Methodist Church, and we are here in Florence, South Carolina at the 2023 Methodist Annual Convention, South Carolina. I am here with Pastor Michael Ritter, and it's good to be here.
And I'm your minister, so it is good to see. It's good to see you. It's good to see you here, and we're having a good time, aren't we, Gillis?
We're having a good time. It is a pleasure to be here. This is the first time since 2019 that we've been together, and it's just a joy to be amongst over 1,000 delegates, both lay and clergy, here in Florence.
It has been an exciting time. A lot of hard work has already been done. A lot of things. Conference is a confusing state sometimes, trying to figure some things out, but it's also a joyful state in that we have worship times, we have times of celebration and recognizing new leadership in different places in our conference. Yesterday, we were introduced to the new president of Claflin University there in Orangeburg.
Yes, indeed.
And got a standing ovation. He is the ninth one in like 153 years. 153 years. Just
amazing.
Incredible. And then we also were introduced also to Beth Williams, who is the new president of Epworth, and so she has actually been to Bethany, but we were actually formally introduced to her yesterday at the conference level. So
it's great to meet these new people and catch up with old friends.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I heard it referred to yesterday as blessed chaos. That's not bad.
There's a lot of truth to that in the church altogether.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
but definitely. So, Gillis, any highlights that you got from yesterday?
You know, it seems to me that the conference came alive, at least for me, when Bishop Holston gave his sermon yesterday morning. For those of you that don't know Bishop Holston, he's a very powerful speaker, a great minister, a terrific presence up on the podium, and he gave us a sermon and he told a cute story about when he was a young lad. They had German Shepherd puppies, and he was tasked with chasing down the one that had gotten away the night before, and he would go to school looking like a bedraggled German Shepherd puppy. But he went, and God can use us in any way, shape, or form to do good things. It just, the convention came alive when Dr. Holston gave his sermon.
Right. Well, straight from there, straight from worship, we went into a time of taking some different committee actions and stuff, different reports, and we looked at those, and those all passed. Then we had lunch. So went straight to lunch. After lunch, we came back. CF&A came and spoke. You might know somebody from CF&A. Do you remember somebody from CF&A? His name was, gosh, my goodness, I think his name was Mitch Houston. And so Mitch got up on the floor, and you might remember how funny Mitch is altogether. And sure enough, he had us laughing. And just looking at some different things, CF&A brought back a part of looking and trying to cut back on some of our spending on the budget as we're moving forward, just knowing some things that are happening in the church. CF&A is truly knowing what's happening with this. So I say CF&A, of course, that's the Council on Finance and Administration. I apologize for giving you that those letters, the acronym that's there.
But you know, Mitch is a special person. I don't know many people who could make a crowd laugh talking about finances. But he has that ability.
He does. He definitely does. We continued on, and probably the harder part of yesterday afternoon was looking at several of the resolutions that we had. The first resolution that we looked at, I know we looked at gun violence yesterday.
Gun violence, we did have resolutions on the South Carolina United Methodist Church resolution to unequivocally oppose the death penalty.
The death penalty as well.
Right, and that passed fairly quickly.
And that passed. We were against the death penalty in the Methodist Church. That's a stance that's there. It's in our book of discipline. And so that resolution continued to pass. And then we went straight into the gun violence.
We opposed gun violence, and a couple of issues there.
Right.
The militarization of police was one issue, and also we got to do some semantics with the banning of large capacity ammunition magazines. There was some discussion of what is that.
Right. And part of the issue was definitely looking at,
Could y'all tell me where the elevator is?
I am not sure exactly, no, sir. So,
Thank you.
and as you can tell, we're at annual conference where we are sitting here recording this, and people come up, I'm not sure, do you know where the elevator
I
is?
do
But
not know
anyhow.
where the elevator- I have not seen an elevator.
So as we continued on, with the gun violence, with the resolutions that were there, some of the semantics that we had that were going on with the wording in the resolution was part of the issue. But anyhow, we worked through it, and some good conversation, and it's always good to have some good conversation. There were also 4 other resolutions that were brought forward, and it was by the Reconciling Ministry.
Well, encouraging leadership with integrity in support of creating a U.S. regional conference, affirmation of the LGBTQIA delegates' call to center justice and empowerment for all people in the United Methodist Church, and also supporting removal of discriminatory policies. That was fairly controversial resolutions. There was discussion, all said and done, we didn't vote.
Well, and the reason why we didn't vote is because they weren't properly before the conference. So nothing was done with it. They have passed in other conferences that are around. You may have heard of that. However, and so they will be presented to General Conference in 2024. However, for us this year and in 2023, they were not properly before us, and that's the way that the committee voted and said they were not properly before us. A lot of discussion, as Gillis was saying, a lot of discussion upon the floor, trying to look and see how that can be brought before us, but the bishop ordered that they were not, and so they were not addressed and voted upon, or even really discussed in any detail.
So the decision was made to move on.
And we
And
did.
And we did.
I think we went to supper.
Well, before we went to supper, we had a very nice sermon by Reverend Kim Moultrie Bryant.
Yes.
She preached from Paul's letter to the Thessalonians about keeping the faith.
Right.
It was a very, very full, very blessed day. It's good to be here, and we have work to do today. Today is Wednesday. It's June 6th.
Today is Tuesday.
I'm sorry. It
All
is
day
June.
long. All day long. Today is Tuesday.
I'm trying to get ahead.
You're trying to get to the finish line, aren't you? So we appreciate you. We thank you for looking at us and looking at this time. Continue to pray for us. We've got a wonderful church. The different ins and outs of the church. We're thankful. I'm thankful for Bethany's delegation, for the 13 delegates, lay delegates, for Narcy, for myself, for the former ministers that are around, and it's been a good time to catch up with people. It always is a good time to catch up with people at conference.
Amen.
And so we thank you. We look forward to seeing you again in these videos, and I hope you have a blessed Tuesday.
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 June
God bless
6th.
you all.